Hey everyone, Flaxative here,
And CT5.
and we actually just recorded our video for the Aloyzo's Arsenal 3 winner announcement.
But we're going to do it again because we really like this. And by that, I mean microphone settings were messed up.
Yeah, my microphone settings were messed up, and the video was total crap. So we're going to do it again, and...
Properly.
yeah.
Your ringtone is always funny.
I'm gonna stop that. Okay, so we're gonna go through a few examples of items that didn't follow the rules or were really bad designs in some way. Is the cautionary tale, what example, what not to do.
Yep.
Then we'll hit up 4 or 5 items that were really cool designs but weren't viable additions to the game.
For some reason or another.
And then we'll go to the short list. We have 5 cool items to, give shoutouts for, and then 5 more that actually won. So we'll go through those items. I might be a little bit brief because I'm salty about losing the previous video we spent half an hour doing, but, we'll do our best here. So maybe I'll let CT5 talk more.
And right off the bat, he wants me to talk more. So let's talk about Herald's Scepter of the Animancer. Couple problems here. For one, it wasn't too tightly designed around a monster. Yes. Or at all.
You're so gentle.
Okay, anyway, so the most obvious... So yes...
What's an Animancer?
That is a good question. That is a very good question.
All right.
But a bit more seriously.
Yes.
Because it does seem like you want to breeze through things. So, couple problems. The most common one that happened not only on this submission but several others is that people didn't design around a specific monster, but more built a cool item around a monster card that they would like to see. That's kind of the case here, right? There is a monster that uses reanimate, but said monster doesn't use these either. So that's sort of problem number one. The other big problem, as Flax pointed out in our previous video that no one will ever know about, is that this item, it's really weird because, so it's an arcane item, but then this magic unholy thing, that's not really a wizard card, that's more of a priest card.
Mm-hmm.
So it can't really be an arcane item, but if you put it as a divine item, then what are these doing?
Mm-hmm. It's
a really odd mix that put together is just kind of a thumbs down.
Yep. So, yeah, an example of someone not really following the guidelines and also making an item that doesn't fit the current distribution of slots. Then we have Ding Ding Stingling.
A resubmission,
and the thing that stood out to me, and the reason I added this to the list of items to talk about, is it's not a horrible design. The cards all fit an arcane item. It's vaguely Melvillus-esque.
Yeah.
This Ding Ding explicitly stated in his submission that it doesn't follow the rules. It said no monster theme. So,
whoops.
Yeah. Good job, Ding Ding. I look forward to submitting this again in a month when arcane items aren't allowed.
Blessed Tidings. So, this card, the new card here, Word of God, doesn't even show up on a monster.
Right.
It doesn't show up anywhere in the game aside from the card database.
Right.
Whoops.
Yeah, it's not in use. I don't even know if it works.
Wow. It's just
never
there.
been played. Ostensibly it works, but I've never tried playing it on any of the test servers. So it's really just it's a card.
Yeah, it's and notably again not a monster card. That's the big problem going on here. Slight thing that Herald's had going on as well here, the whole holy but human.
Yeah, human skills I think don't have holy cards. So. And then level 25.
Oh, right, yeah, level 25.
Yeah.
As stated in the rules, it should be level 21 or less,
Yep.
as level 21 is the current level cap for items.
Yep. Alright, so now we're moving on to items that were really cool, but I think didn't work. The Chupacabra Buckler, awesome portmanteau, really cool name.
Yeah.
Pretty well designed.
Yeah.
Mind Muddle doesn't belong on a shield. It just doesn't. Warriors should never have access to this card.
Yeah.
And aside from that, there's a reason we haven't put Maze of the Mind on any item, and that's just is annoying to play against.
Very unfun.
Yeah.
And I mean, these cards are very powerful, right?
Yeah.
You can see Maze of the Mind and Mind Muddle in. There's the Monkey Magic and the Monster Hunt Leagues.
Yep.
Which will hopefully come back in rotation at some point.
Yeah.
But when it triggers against you, it's like, oh my god.
Yeah.
There goes like everything.
Yeah. It's a huge card disadvantage to have your opponent playing your cards for you.
And positional, just like
yeah.
It's
yeah.
Yeah.
It's really brutal, and I mean, there's definitely a card quality at which it's fair, but
it's still horribly unfun.
Right, there might not be a card quality at which it's fun. So but cool design.
Cool design otherwise though, yeah.
And then tongue-in-cheek, another awesome item name.
Yes.
With some on-theme cards. Of course, no monster theme here, which is problematic for the competition. Don't mind the blue token. That should be a yellow token.
But still fun and funny.
Yeah. I love the visual pun. But arcane items shouldn't have this kind of damage on them. And yeah, again, there isn't really a monster theme here, so moving on. Reinforced doors,
hilarious,
very funny.
I laugh for a good bit seeing
too.
this.
Yep. And you become a door.
Yeah, I really like it. I think it's really well done.
Yeah.
Your problem with it
yeah.
was that as boots, currently all boots have a movement card.
Yeah.
And this one doesn't.
Right. Boots should have a movement card.
Again, that could be part of the whole thing. I think it'd be really funny, right? If that's the whole idea of the boots.
I think it would be a better heavy armor or dwarf skill, just in terms of not breaking the rules for what item slots do. But it's a cool design. I liked it.
Yeah. I'm a fan.
And the Mummy Shroud. Again, a cool design, tightly themed to a monster. The Mummy has all three of these cards. Divine Armors could, in theory, have all three of these cards. They need to have, a holy or unholy card and an armor card, and slowed can be a handicap on anything as far as I'm concerned. So it works really well, but I didn't want to give players only bones.
Right.
And as CT5 said in our previous video, talk to Steeks if you want to know why. There can be more discussion about this. In fact, I think in the discussion thread there is discussion about whether or not only bones would be a good player card. I think that it isn't right now a good idea to give players this card, so really cool design, good job 3Beaner, but I don't think we can publish this item right now.
Yeah, very tightly themed. So.
Very, very, very nicely done. Alright, shortlist.
Storges Proboscis. Is that how you say it? Proboscis?
Proboscis, I think, yeah. Nose.
This thing.
Yeah.
Right there.
That thing. So there were a couple storage-themed items that were submitted. I think this was the better of the two. The other had a Shifty Stab, which to me didn't make too much sense.
Yeah.
Wings of Faith is a card that Storges don't have, but it lets you fly, which is something Storges do have.
Yes.
And it makes this a really well-balanced divine weapon, with some attacks, with some non-attacks.
Yeah.
Really great job designing it. Good job.
As you said, with this item, you play like a Storge. You can fly around, and then...
Bloodsuck,
exactly.
Yeah, get behind them. Drain 10.
That's also really cute.
It is really cute. Yeah, so good job. Frostguard Dog Dodgers.
Very cool.
Pretty sweet. Nice design. All three cards are cards that dogs have.
Yep.
And Skillful Dodge getting back into the game is something we can consider at some point.
Now that's appropriately more fairly costed.
Yeah. I do think this is a bit powerful for a tokenless item, but it's well designed. So good job.
Druidic Barkskin. Very cool based off those tree peoples.
Yep.
These all work.
Yep. Those are all cards that trees have. One piece of criticism I have is that I think the name should be more tightly tied to the monster that has the cards, rather than druids. But obviously this is like Barkskin is a pretty common D&D thing. Druids are common in fantasy, and the cards all work. So Good job, Hidden
Yeah,
Jaguar.
it conveys the thing well. I don't have a big problem with it. But.
All right, Punf, you made a funny.
It's very funny.
Yeah.
It's really enjoyable to sing it.
Yep.
You're just and
Yeah.
then you're fumbling and falling and
You turn into a servant.
Yeah.
And servants have a few uses. I mean, they also have Team Shift, but, Raise the Alarm is sort of their iconic card.
Yeah.
And then a bunch of drawbacks make this a tokenless human skill. Ignore that dot. Tokenless human skill that people have been asking for a long time. Of course, it's not actually that good because Trip can be lethal and Fumble is card disadvantage. But it's a really tight design, funny name.
yeah,
Trained Panic.
yeah.
It's funny.
It's great.
It's a good job, Punf. You did good. One of the main reasons we aren't looking to add this item to the game right now is just it's a lot of cycling. It's a lot of drawing. You have 2 cycling cards to get you to your card that draws more cards.
Mm-hmm.
I think I've mentioned in a few places we're trying to avoid items like this that are just like card draw and cycling and nothing else.
Mm-hmm.
Hey!
Yay!
Talk about your item.
I hope someone laughed.
I did.
Yay. Mission success.
Yep. I think some other people might have laughed too. A lot of people like this item. I think it works pretty well. You're like a dwarf. You're short. You turn around.
You're not
slowly.
moving much anyways,
Yeah.
so like, yeah.
You're
You're just gonna watch from a distance as your buddies do all the work.
yeah, and like Surveyor, it's funny, right? Dwarves mine, right?
Yeah.
Dwarves, that's what they do, right?
Yeah.
They find mountains. They do surveying work. Then they mine. Then there's probably dwarf overseers and all this stuff. And it's the camera. It's really cute. It's
Yeah.
smart. And the spin around isn't in the camera deck.
Yeah, that's the off thing.
But I think it's fine. Cameras spin around. You really get the theme of the monster in that card. Ultimately, we chose not to include this because Scan has some rules on it that could confuse someone unfamiliar with them. Namely, it says that it does things that don't actually do anything
Yeah.
for player characters.
Yeah.
May act again this round, free action, all that stuff could be confusing to people who haven't played with cameras or just haven't played a lot of Mauve Manticores where you're playing with monster cards,
Yeah.
So we decided against this, but it's pretty cool. And actually in the discussion thread, for whatever it's worth, people have been talking about the submissions now because they know that I already picked the winners.
Mm-hmm.
A lot of people are saying they liked yours.
Oh,
So,
cool.
good job, CT5.
Yay.
All right, winners.
Even better. Pondalon, congratulations yet again for muscle bound boots. Excellent way to get more muscle throughs
Yeah.
that people like.
Yeah, Muscle Through is a cool card that's on a lot of items that aren't that great. If you want Muscle Through, this is the best way to get it, because
Yeah.
you get 2 of them on an item.
Yep.
And with that trait, cycling, you'll get your Muscle Throughs.
Yeah.
I think this is a pretty powerful item as far as Muscle Through items go.
Yep. These are based on the ogres, if you couldn't tell.
Yeah.
Also doing the clumsy.
Pretty tight design there.
Yeah.
Ogres are sort of the iconic Muscle Through monster in the campaign,
Yeah.
and they also have clumsy.
They're very clumsy.
Them and golems have clumsy, I think. So, good
I
job.
like the
Pondalon.
big goblin Hulk dude, but
Oh,
anyways,
yeah,
anyways,
yeah.
anyways.
The meat fist.
Yeah.
Yeah. So good job, Pon. And we've got another pair of boots.
Yay!
The Argy Bargy brand sneakers, which is a great name. Good job.
Very great name.
Really, really good name. And again, we got a muscle through, we got a run, we got the ooze shove, which is cool. This gives priests and warriors a way to push people back.
Yeah.
One thing I'm not sure about is it's a utility that deals 0 crushing damage. Will it get buffed by Crusher?
Probably.
We will find out. And yeah, these are just sweet. All the cards belong on Argy Bargy, the Oozeball blocker. You're playing Oozeball with this. You've got that pacifist shove, and the item icon is, 2 slimes pretending to be a pair of boots. So,
Whoopsies.
what did you do?
What did I do? Oh god.
It's alright.
Okay.
Okay. So, yeah, nice boots.
I'm a fan. Also a fan of this, the Spritastrophe.
It's pretty sweet.
Super sweet. It's all the sprites.
Yeah, it really went above and beyond. I said design your item tightly around a monster. This is designed around a bunch of monsters that are really similar. It's got the brain burn that they all have, and then it's got a signature scary attack from 4 out of 5 of them.
Yeah.
And from the arcane sprites, we've got, a downgrade of the Sorceress Bolt that I think really reflects what Aloyzo has done here.
Yes. Definitely.
Putting 5 sprites together in a staff is bound to create some instabilities.
Yeah.
And the Unstable Bolt is, by definition, an instability.
Yeah.
I'm a huge fan of this design. I think that it also gives wizards a really hefty amount of damage and a number of different tools, all for a reasonable token cost of 1 major, 1 minor. You've got Burst, you've got Linear, you've got Burning, you've got Encumber, you've got Hard to Block, you've got Armor Removal in difficult terrain.
Yeah.
It's like everything.
It does everything.
Does everything.
Including
really
hurt
cool.
yourself.
And it hurts you. Yeah, perfect. A very sorcererous. Yeah.
Definitely.
So, good job, Duke Tresnor. Very nice submission. Now we've got a human skill.
A very cool one that does exactly what it says. You're infected. You are now a zombie.
Yep.
You're gonna walk like one. You're gonna guts like one. Whatever that means. Like you're gonna have all this kind of nastiness.
Yep. You are an infected zombie. When you die, you're gonna blow up in a big pile of nasty, toxic goo. Some people may disagree with the valuation of Festering Guts, but I maintain that when you're putting it in your deck, you're playing to exploit it, and this card can do a lot.
Yes,
it can do a lot. 18 damage is a lot of damage.
That's a big number.
2 squares is a lot of squares.
That's a big number.
And I'm looking forward to see if people run this definitely in handicap quests. It's going to be useful.
That's going to be fun, yeah.
So, yeah.
And the whole flavor of... Right, it's a human skill. You are becoming a zombie now.
Yeah, it's like
Love
humans.
it.
They get infected with the zombie disease and they become a zombie. It's
Love it.
Really, really cool. So, good job, Jester. Now we move on to the final winner. Another staff.
Wow.
The tasty staff.
Tasty.
Super tasty.
So this one... So there's 5 monster cards here.
There are 5
Not just one,
cards.
there's 5.
Yep.
Wow.
So I said in the discussion thread that you can basically do whatever you want and pray.
Mm-hmm.
And that's clearly what Inkfingers did. And it paid off for him because this is sweet. One reason I'm not worried about introducing 3 monster cards here is that they're basically all like existing player cards. Tongue Grab is like Winds of War, Tongue Storm is like Arcane Burst, and Tongue Lash is like Sorcerer's Bolt or Sorcerer's Blast.
Yeah.
So they all have existing player analogs. They're all slightly different, a little bit better, a little bit worse. Tongue Grab and Tongue Lash are melee crushing, which means they get more damage boosts from Frenzy.
But can also get parried.
They can get parried. They're also shorter range. And the Tongue Storm, I guess is actually just a worse arcane
burst.
Yeah, it's just worse. So I didn't feel uncomfortable about giving wizards all these cards. Really, to me, this is a matter of like reskinning existing wizard cards, putting them on a staff together, and saying like, "Here, have a giant tongue." Themed after the tongue monster from the Attack of the Artifacts expansion. I think this is really sweet, and I'm excited to run it. Tasty, deadly.
Yeah.
It's just cool. With the Acid Blast is like some acid reflux or something coming back out of your tongue esophagus. Really good job, Inkfingers. Good job, Inkfingers.
To all our winners.
Jester, Duke Tresnor, Sio Mintan, and Ponduan. 5 winners. All 5 items going to be in the Halloween store in just over a week, probably, because we're going to launch our Halloween content sometime next week.
Excellent.
And stay tuned for that. This will probably all hit the test server in the next couple days, alongside Mob Manticore 10 and Caverns of Chaos.
Okay.
New Halloween ranked boards and the Halloween figures.
Wow.
And that Halloween store that opens up every year around this time is going to have 5 new items
Awesome.
in the holiday rotation. So look forward to that, and I hope that this was a fun video. Yeah. If you want to discuss these items or any others further, I'll see you on the forums. Take care, everyone.
Bye.